So I've actually been struggling to think of something to actually do a video on for the past few days. That's why I've been relatively absent. I've also been playing a bit of Gotham Knights, so I've been distracted by that. But I didn't know what to do a video on, and then it hit me. Then this news came out, and I was like, I have a very strong, very controversial opinion on this topic, and what is from the top rope without spicy takes and controversy? So shall we just get into this? Hello and welcome to FTTR. I am Hugh McQuaid, and today we are talking about WWE. In particular, we are talking about Stone Cold Steve Austin coming back to the ring one more time, apparently, as according to Fightful Select, who are reporting that WWE wants Austin back for a match at WrestleMania 39 in Hollywood. And we are going to talk about who he should potentially face, because like I said in the intro, I have one answer. Only one answer for this. Now there's a few people you can go to. You think maybe Roman's going to be facing The Rock. Maybe Cody Rhodes could face Stone Cold Steve Austin. Maybe Finn Balor could go up against Stone Cold Steve Austin. Maybe an AJ Styles. Or a big heel. Big heel turn for Drew. Drew could face him. Hell, maybe Roman Reigns is going to face Stone Cold Steve Austin. But there's one man who deserves a match against Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania. And that is Kevin Owens. Now you might be saying, you probably are saying, why would Kevin Owens face Stone Cold Steve Austin again at WrestleMania? He had that moment, he had that impromptu main event thing, because he deserves better than what he got. Okay? Because for me, that match, not very good. Did nothing for Kevin Owens in the slightest. He lost to someone who hasn't wrestled in, when was the last time he wrestled? Maybe like 10 years, something like that. Maybe. I can't remember the last time Stone Cold Steve Austin wrestled. And sure, it was a big nostalgia kick for people who grew up with the Attitude Era, but for someone like me who didn't grow up with the Attitude Era, Kevin Owens just lost to this legend. It was borderline, not as bad as Goldberg beating The Fiend, an old guy coming back and beating a top star. It just didn't work for me in the slightest. So to have the rematch with a repackaged Kevin Owens, because we also need to remember that the feud was Kevin Owens trashing Texas leading into that Stone Cold Steve Austin match. That was it. There was no layers to that story. It was just he didn't like Texas, and Stone Cold Steve Austin wanted to kick his ass, so they had a talk show. It was very comedy, but we have got prize fighter Kevin Owens back right now. Well, he is injured. Hopefully he'll be better by Mania. But having prize fighter Kevin Owens take on Stone Cold, be like, no, I was a joke last year. I'm better than that. I'm not just a talk show segment host. I am a prize fighter. And beating you at WrestleMania is the biggest prize in the business. I didn't take you seriously enough last year. I want that now. That sounds like a really meaty story to get Stone Cold back for another match. And granted, you know, Austin Owens isn't the biggest headline on a marquee at WrestleMania. But it's the match that makes the most sense because he got done dirty last year. There's more story to tell there. And if you look at the trajectory that Kevin Owens went on following the match with Austin, he was feuding with Ezekiel, who is no longer around. That match did absolutely nothing for Kevin Owens, and I think this is a way to reinvigorate Kevin Owens by getting his win back. Because think about it, he's on a bit of an upwards trajectory. He had that, incredible promo segment with Drew. He had a great match with Drew. He sadly is injured right now. But coming back and being like, I'm calling out Austin because I want to kill him. I want to lay him in the ring, bloodied and broken. That just sounds great. And then just so many angles. You could do the powerbomb on the apron, make that feel special again. And there's just so many layers with an Austin Owens feud that weren't touched upon. They weren't in that first one. Not in the slightest. Which is why I just don't like the Owens-Austin match. Because he didn't put over Kevin Owens. Which is what it should have done. And this is a reverse of that. We are now getting a different version of Kevin Owens, a more focused Kevin Owens, who can go in there and destroy Stone Cold Steve Austin. That is what I would like to see. If Austin's going to go out, I want to see him put someone over in a way that elevates them to the next level. You know, it'd be his official retirement. It's who retires Stone Cold Steve Austin. And Kevin Owens is the man to do that. He's the absolute man to do that. If Austin can wrestle these longer matches, have a brutal, Hell in a Cell or something like that. Something where Owens can just destroy Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's what I want to see. That's what the legend should be used for. And that is putting over newer, younger talent. It's why I'm not a fan of the Sting, Darby Allin, Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal feud, because I don't know who's that going to put over. Darby, sure, but in that tag team match, Jay Lethal has been around for a long time, and Jeff Jarrett and Sting are legends, so that doesn't really make sense in that regard. But I think Owens destroying Steve Austin at Mania would get unbelievable heat. It would be an incredible story, an incredible full circle narrative, which is something you don't see in WWE really at all. Getting a little bit more payoff with the Triple H version of things, but I think great match, great angle, great heat, and great character development for Kevin Owens. For me, he is the only person who should get this match. Anyone else, whether it be Seth, Roman, Bobby, Drew, Austin Theory, anyone, no. Kevin Owens deserves a great WrestleMania match against Stone Cold Steve Austin, because he was robbed of it last year. It was built around Texas and a talk show. There's so much more to professional wrestling than that, especially when you've got an icon of the industry like Stone Cold. So that is my pick for who should face Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania. Is that a spicy enough take for you? Let me know down in the comments below, and I'll try and reply to every single one of you. Thank you all ever so much for your support, and have a nice day.